After 18 segments and over 2 months, Chapter 1 of Digimon Seekers has finally concluded. If Digimon Survive was everything that I wanted from the Digimon anime, Digimon Seekers is everything that I've ever wanted from the Digimon video game series. I've been really enjoying it, or mostly I've been enjoying it, and this is probably because it felt like a combination of both Digimon World 2003 and the Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth games, which I also really enjoyed. So that's probably why I've liked it, because it had those vibes from those two video games that I was already a big fan of, and it felt more or less like it could have just been a continuation or in the same universe as either of those games. There's also the fact that it's making me love running my Vital Bracelet even more. While the Vital Bracelet was the Digivice in Digimon Ghost game, I felt like it didn't really feature as much in terms of being on the screen or in terms of showing off the functionality compared to previous series and their Digivices. However, Ghost game just kind of felt like it had it there. It just kind of felt like it was there. It was the Digivice and that was about it. But Digimon Seekers really does tie in with the Vital Bracelet BE more. So we also have the BE memories that are coming out, that are sort of coinciding with the story of Digimon Seekers, and we also have the Linker Band. So that's something that I've been really enjoying from Digimon Seekers, is that it, again, features the Digimon Vital Bracelet, which is really great to see. It's great to see we got a Digivice that appeared in not only Ghost game, not only the manga Digimon Dreamers, but also Digimon Seekers. It feels like it's not just a one-and-done Digivice like with previous models of the Digivices and previous releases of their tie-in toys. So I am a big fan of that. In terms of how it reads, it does read better than previous Digimon novelizations, but these have been more or less tie-ins with Digimon Adventure properties. So we had the Digimon Adventure novelization from a few decades ago, and then alongside the release of Digimon Last Evolution Kazuna, we had the novelization of that as well. This being a completely standalone story that is just in itself the novelization means that it feels slightly unique in terms of a Digimon series release. And it definitely reads better than that. It does read a lot like basically every light novel that I've read, but it does, of course, have the issue with the English translation, which is the official English translation, so it is nice that it is being released officially in English. However, there are some issues with it. So this translation actually reminds me a lot of the early fan subs for anime back in like the 90s and 2000s, how fan subs really did just read kind of like the fan subs didn't quite make sense and didn't always align with what was actually being said, but it was the best you had, so you kind of lived with it. Similar story with this, however, the unofficial English translations from Onkei, which I've mentioned in my own reading, is a lot better than the actual official translation. So I've been reading that, but still I maintain that if you are reading any unofficial translation or listening to my audio reading, for example, I still recommend that you actually go and click on the Digimon.net site for each chapter and each segment, just so you can kind of get those views up for Bandai. I wouldn't want Bandai to think there's a lack of interest. So I'm enjoying the characters that are appearing in Digimon Seekers. That's really something I appreciate. All the characters feel fairly unique in terms of their personality compared to previous Digimon entries into the franchise. That's something I like. I also appreciate that they are adults, or at the very least, young adults. They are not children. We have the main character being Eiji, and he is 19. So all the other characters appear to be that age, or older, because they've got full-time jobs and aren't in university. That's something I appreciate as an adult being interested in Digimon, is that a lot of the characters are either children or high school students. So I appreciate that these characters are adults and they feel unique to the series, mainly because they're adults, but also because their personalities in general don't just feel like they are copy and pastes from previous entries into the franchise. So that's something I do appreciate from Digimon Seekers, at least in terms of Chapter 1, which is the story so far. So it is also interesting to note, back on the subject, that they have the Vital Bracelet BE, or at least the linker band, which is the same, like very much resembles the Vital Bracelet BE, is the fact that there doesn't appear to be any BE memories in the actual series itself. Obviously, the tie-in linker bands and BE memories do exist. They are BE memories. They don't appear to be in the actual show itself. If you're interested in the story but don't really feel like reading, or if you're not really a fan of Digimon novels or just novels in general, check out the first chapter reading that I did in podcast form. Again, if that's how you plan on consuming it, I recommend visiting the official release on Digimon.net to ensure Bandai knows that there's still some interest internationally. So overall, is Digimon Seekers worth a shot? I say absolutely. It's a fun story and it is a completely unique venture for the franchise. It shouldn't just be skipped and definitely deserves the chance. Not to mention the art in each section is honestly pretty cool. And at the start of each chapter, and this is something I'm actually a big fan of, is we get a live action trailer of everything that is going to be happening in that chapter. So we just had chapter 2 start, so we have a new trailer for that, and I'm a big fan of that. I think that's a great way of getting attention and getting people excited for the upcoming chapter. It's also cool to see Digimon in a live action format because it's not really something that we've seen previously. So in any case, those are my thoughts on Chapter 1 of Digimon Seekers. Again, if you're still not sure whether or not to give it a chance, I definitely recommend it. You can read Onkei's unofficial translation, or you can read the not so good but official English translation. Or you can, of course, listen to the reading that I did. It's 3 hours long for the first chapter, so good for those long commutes, I guess. So I definitely recommend checking it out in some way. But again, make sure you actually do visit the website, just so Bandai knows that there's still interest, especially internationally. And considering we got a fairly decent English translation for Digimon Dreamers on Digimon.net, and that's an actual localization, I'm kind of hoping that they give Digimon Seekers the same attention. In any case, those are my thoughts of Chapter 1. Let me know your thoughts, comments, questions, etc. in the comment section below. Like this video for yay official English releases. They should be good. Please, Bandai, put a little bit more attention into the English release, because it's great to have official, but it still reads kind of badly. And subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbours, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!